catch us. Wish we had more time to spare. Want you around me like air. Can't get my feelings involved, and then you not be there. Into my eyes you was there. Show me you care. I wanna keep you on.
I'm helping people, bitch.
So red, so red, so red, so red, so red. I wanna keep you around. People like us are so red, so red, so red, so red, so red. I wanna keep you.
I just want you to see me. There is more to me than what you see, beyond the paradigms of society.
What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's Zam YouTube? It's your girl that got us in the back. Ooh, with another one.
Go
girl. Alright guys, so today's video is going to be about, I just want you to see me. Alright, but before we get into the video though, I'm gonna need you to like, comment, subscribe, and share. You hear me? You are more than welcome to think that anything I say on this channel is a bunch of tomfoolery. You are more than welcome to think that anything I say is crazy, or that I am crazy and I need psychiatric help. You are more than welcome to disagree with anything I say on this channel, because why? What you think is valid in your world. Let me repeat that. What you think is valid in your world, okay? This channel is about freedom of thought. Think how you want to think. So if you think Bigfoot and Sasquatch is real, baby, this the channel for you. If you think fairies and mermaids are real, this the channel for you. If you think aliens exist, this the channel for you. Alright? I'm not here to persuade you to believe what I believe. I'm just here to provoke thoughts and shake some shit up, stir some shit up, okay? Alright guys, now let's get into the video. Alright, so that post was posted by Miss Empress AK. I love her so much. She is everything. I follow her on Instagram. I love her so much. But anyways, when she posted that, a lot of girls got on her ass in the comments, because they was like, you know, women can wear what they want. You know, we need to stop policing women's bodies and things like that, right? But then Empress AK said she wasn't even talking about that. She was referring to and she used the example of Carisha, saying that she liked golden showers, that she told the whole entire world that she liked golden showers. But let's actually ponder on the fact, or let's actually ponder on the thought of it actually being about what people wear, what women wear. Because I've actually heard men complain, or have that same complaint about women's bodies. You know, oh, all I see is ass and titties all day long. You know, it's like there's no mystery no more. You know, like, show me something new. Show me something. What else? What else you got? What else you got besides ass and titties? And I think that's a great thing. I think that's a great thing. I think women should walk around more with their ass and titties out. Now I know what you're thinking. This bitch done gone too damn far.
Done lost your damn mind.
But hear me out. The fact that men are complaining, are having that complaint, like, show me some, what else you got? What else you got? It is forcing these men to actually dig deeper. It is putting these men into a position where that you have to give them more. That you have to show them more than just some ass and titties. Like, what else do you got? What else you got? And I know that's blowing people's minds right now. Blowing people's minds right now. And it's like, yes, girls, like, think about that. Ponder on the thought of men actually wanting to see you for who you are. Actually wanting to dig deeper into your mind and get to know you for you. Yes, girls, actually have a conversation about about anything other than sex. Actually having a conversation about things other than what you have, your money, your status. You know what I'm saying? They can't be fooled by what you're wearing, your status, your you know, all of these things that is just a perception. People can no longer hide behind clothing. People can no longer hide behind cars and material things. It's like, I actually have to get to know you for who you are. I actually have to dig deeper and see your soul. Like, what if we lived in a world like that? What if we lived in a world where people actually judged people by who they are and not how they are presented to be, how are they perceived to be. We live in a society where we care more about how people perceive us rather than people seeing us for who we are. We live in a society where we perceive people to be a certain way because of what they have on, because of their home, because of the money or lack thereof. See, when I was growing up, I grew up in a middle class family. My mother is a nurse, a registered nurse, and my father is a social worker. Now, both of these people, you know, make a decent salary. They were able to provide a decent life for me and my brother. But at the same time, because we grew up in that type of situation, and we're around, you know, people that are like us, and then we're also being conditioned by the news and being conditioned by the media. You know, we're often perceived. So I'm gonna just use the example of, you know, how back in the gap where being, you know, wearing oversized t-shirts for men and men sagging pants and gold teeth and big chains and big bracelets and all this jewelry was very popular. And because of hip hop culture is rooted in like hood stuff, you know, people growing up in the hood and not being as fortunate and doing things and living a certain lifestyle in order to survive, in order to, you know, be able to live the type of lifestyle that we were living, just to put food in their mouths, just to take care of their families, right? So anyways, my brother, you know, growing up, you know, because hip hop is a big influence, everybody is influenced by it, no matter if you grew up in the hood or not. You know, you are influenced by that hip hop culture. So we all wanted to dress like, you know, girls wanted to dress like the girls in hip hop, and boys wanted to dress like the boys in hip hop. So my brother also wore big ass t-shirts and big ass pants and sagged his pants. And my parents didn't grow up in that hip hop era, and who came up in a different generation and is now well off, kind of well off in their lives, made a good life for themselves, is judging those people in that way. So when my brother would wear the big t-shirts and the big pants and the all of that, they would say, oh, you dressing just like those thugs. You want to be out here, people gonna think you a thug, son. People gonna think you a thug, a criminal, you know what I mean? And then so you grow up hearing that, and you grow up believing that. You having this perception of these people as if they're just criminals, as if they just want to do crime, as if they're just these terrible people, right? But then I got older and grew up, and I actually started to get to know these men, because I started, once you grow up and you start meeting people, and you start having you gain your own opinion of people, it's like, oh, he's not just a thug. He grew up, his mother was on, he grew up in a household where his mother was on crack. His mother was a drug addict. His family, this is a crack, he grew up in the middle of a crack epidemic, and all of his family is on drugs, or his mother's on drugs, and his family won't take him in because they have other issues. He said, this one guy who I met, yeah, that's what he said. He said that he, grew up with his mother and him going in and out of crack houses, homeless, sleeping in crack houses on the floor, having nothing. And he made a choice to start selling drugs because that was all he could do. He's at this point he's a teenager. He's not even old enough. He's like 13, 14. He's not even old enough to even get a job. So it's like, what do you do when you're born into those circumstances and you can't eat? And you can't even eat, or your family disowned your family disowned you, or disowned his mother because she was on crack and she was stealing and she was doing all these things, right? So anyways, I said all that to say, when I heard his story, I was like, oh my God, he's not just a criminal. Like this man has a story behind the actions and the choices that he made. So people are not just what they appear to be. There's always something deeper behind what people do and how people choose to live their lives. I met another young lady who was, who grew up in a house where her mama was a drunk. Her mama was a drunk, and her other family members was also on drugs. And growing up in the hood, that's kind of common, right? So her mother would would be mean and abusive when she get drunk, and pour liquor on her, pour water on her head, and just very abusive. So she left. She tried to go to her other family members, and her other family members was just as bad. Like they were just as bad. They was on drugs, and they was didn't give a fuck. Like they didn't care nothing about her. So she left. She ran away. She tried to do it on her own. She was out here homeless. Out here on her own, trying to get it on her own, right? So, she did things like sleep with men for some money, It's like, oh, so she's not just a whore. She's not just a whore. She's not just a prostitute. She kind of is, but it's like, she's not just that. She has something deeper. She had a deeper background, a deeper story than her just being on the corner. Or she wasn't that type of prostitute. She wasn't on the corner, but she would sleep with a man. She would sleep with men for money. She would make men give her money for sex. You know what I mean? It's like, well, I need money, so if you want me to have sex with you, then you gotta pay me. So she's not just a whore. When I was working in a food stamp office, I was able to meet so many people, and in that experience, you got people who are well off, who kind of made a life for themselves because they were in better situations. But then and then to look down on these people for wanting food stamps, especially these men in the manosphere, where they talk about these women being on welfare and using the system and cheating the system or relying on the system, kicking the men out the homes and all that bull crap, right? But then you start to listen to these women's stories, and they're growing up in uncompromising positions. Some of them have learning disabilities. Some of them have some of them can't read or write because they was born in situations where they weren't able to go to school. They're not just. And then so when I realized that, I'm like, okay, so they're not just people trying to live off the system. These people are in uncompromising situations where they need this system, where they need this shit. You know what I mean? So I say all that to say, everything is not what it appears to be or what it seems to be. Everybody has a story, okay? And I'm not saying that some people are just, what you see is what you get. Yeah, women who are, there are a lot of women who dress revealing and provocatively and are just whores. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that, but they are proud to be that. And if they are proud to be that, who are you to say that they are, whatever? You know what I'm saying? Who are you to judge them? You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that men who do dress with grills and chains and all of that aren't drug dealers, because a lot of them are. But at the same time, some of them are not. Some of them just like jewelry. You know what I mean? Some of them, and a lot of people are just following trends. Some people are just following trends. It's a trend. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything is, everybody has their own story, and everybody is who they, and you shouldn't judge them by just what you see. Saying that the way that somebody carries themselves, is low vibrational. No. The only thing that makes you low vibrational is having a low vibration. Is having a low vibration. A vibration is a feeling. What do I feel like? What you feel when you around me. Because I guarantee you, if there was a machine that could measure our vibrations, measure our frequencies, I bet your mine would be the highest one. Not because of what I have on, not because of what I have or don't have, but because of the love that's in my heart. Now, I'm not saying all of this to say that I just want women to walk around. Like, we should just start walking around completely naked. Even though I don't think nothing is wrong with that. But if a woman does choose to wear a crop top without a bra and some shorts because it's 1,000 degrees outside. She shouldn't have to be judged and seen and perceived as this sexual person, as this whore. Like, do y'all realize I'm at a park? I'm at the park where there's grass and trees and dirt. Like like I'm not about to dress. I'm not about to put on a whole entire outfit to come to the park and record a video, because after the park I'm usually doing I probably start doing cartwheels in the grass. I start run, walk the track, do some yoga. Like, I'm not about to put on a whole outfit for that. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna use another example. So when I was watching Daisy, Professional High Priestess, and there was one reading where she was, that's her YouTube channel, if y'all want to go check her out and see who she is and what she about. But she would, you know, do her readings with, you know, she wouldn't have on a bra or whatever, and she, you know, made sure the camera was facing the cards, so it kind of seemed like she was just showing her chest, but it wasn't. She was just trying to show the cards, you know, so that we could see the cards. And, you know, as she's giving this reading, she used to do her readings live. As she gives her readings, she's saying stuff like, she's seeing people in the chat say, why you don't have on a bra? Ew, you're presenting yourself. You don't present yourself in a good manner, in the right manner. You're supposed to be spiritual and whatever. And Daisy stopped her whole reading, had to stop her whole reading just to be like, why are y'all paying attention to that? Like, why are y'all not paying attention to the message? Like, so, like, why are you looking at my titties? Like, you should not even be paying attention to that. And so after she said that, I was like, oh wow. Like, I didn't even notice that. I didn't even notice the fact that she did not have on a bra. So that goes to show you like where people's minds are at. How perverted people's minds are. It's not Daisy. It's you. It's you. Like, you can't, like, stop trying to call somebody low vibrational because you a lusty ass person that don't know how to control yourself. You know what I mean? Then there was this other woman who is from Ghana, and she makes I follow her on Instagram. I love her so much. She's so cute and so pretty. And I follow her on Instagram, and she makes shea butter from scratch, and she sells it in her little village. And when that George Floyd thing happened, she posted a picture of what seemed to be like her crying, you know, tears, but they were fake tears. And I don't know what she made the tears out of, but it kind of did have a whitish tint to it, but you could tell that it was supposed to be tears. You know, things that are clear kind of appear white sometimes, you know what I mean? And but you could tell they was fake tears. And she had an entire caption like saying, you know, talking about police brutality, but somehow, some kind of way, there were still men that turned that pure picture, that purity into something perverted, and said that along the lines, trying to say that it was along the lines of like something sexual. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Something white on her face, and then and they said that it was something sexual. Y'all know what I'm saying. Y'all don't make me say it, because I don't even want to say it, because it was so like that's disgusting. But y'all know what I mean. And when she, you know, she responded, and then like the last thing I remember her saying was, I'm much too African for this. I'm too African for this. And people were feeling some type of way. But it was like, and I understood. I'm like, and I understood it, because when you go to other countries, they are not as perverted. Their minds are not as perverted as American people's minds are. You know what I mean? Like it's just not. So anyways, all I'm saying is, to sum this whole thing up, to sum this whole video up, we have to see, we need to start seeing each other for who we are. Stop trying to judge me for not wearing a bra or wearing short shorts, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, stop doing that. And I ain't gonna lie, like, it really hurts my feelings. It hurts my feelings that people judge me that way just off the fact that I didn't wear a bra with my shirt, in my shirt. You would think that I walked out of the house topless. You would think that I was walking around nude, the way people like to judge me for not wearing a bra, or for wearing shorts when it's 1,000 degrees outside. Let's start seeing each other for who we are. Let's start judging each other off of who we are. Let's see each other. Let's see souls. Let's get to know each other for our souls and not for our appearance. And that's all I have for y'all today, and y'all have a good one.
And remember, don't be a hoe.